Team FD and welcome back to Hot Takes, but new and improved. Notice the factory.
Look at it.
Created by the nefarious mind of Kieran Carlin.
Sexy and magnificent.
Sexy? You into all this spitting
it.
fire?
Bit of danger.
What was that?
That was a bit of danger.
The Lotus. You look like a pervy grasshopper. Anyway, it's me and Rude Gullet because of this thing. Hence the nickname. Kicking things off. Please don't report me to HR for grabbing your neck. And the first hot take comes from Park Life.
Yes.
Park Life. Anyway, he has said, Ollie is not the perfect man for the job. Contentious.
Yeah.
What do we feel, do you?
I am 100% in agreement with Park Life. I said it at the time, so I'm not just saying it now. They've lost 6 of their last 8 games in all competitions, I believe. Oof. They had a great start under Ollie, but he couldn't have done anything other than reinvigorate that squad after Mourinho. But in the same way that all the problems with Man United squads weren't Mourinho's fault, all the good things that came out of that spell weren't down to Solskjaer. That squad is not good enough, and they should have gone for a more experienced head, definitely. They should have targeted Pochettino. There is no way in hell that Pochettino has a worse chance of winning a title in the next 3 to 5 years than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, in my opinion. They have been slightly found out, but then their squad also doesn't step up when it needs to in the big games. Or not even in the big games. Did you see, I mean, you were on holiday, but they got thrashed by Everton 4-0.
I did see a lot of big game though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, did you?
In South Africa,
Elephants.
Yeah. Elefantes.
I mean, probably better than Phil Jones at the back.
Flap their ears when they're angry, as does Phil Jones.
As does Phil Jones. He just flaps his face, yeah. But absolutely disastrous run of form from United. They can still get top 4. Obviously got the derby tonight. This will go out afterwards. But I actually have got a weird feeling they'll get a draw.
Ooh,
I don't know why. I don't know why. Maybe a 1-1.
Anyway, what are my thoughts, I hear you say, from behind your screen?
Take a step to the... Yeah, beautiful.
Leave that in. Anyway, now Kieran's moved us. I'm going to jump straight back in with my opinion.
He's back.
I don't think you get a lot of credit, Park Life, for sending this in as a hot take. I think most reasonable football fans probably have the gut feeling that he's not the long-term solution, despite signing that 3-year deal, despite Mike Phelan becoming the first director of football.
Is that confirmed?
Almost.
Almost.
Pretty sure all that's stopping him from, or Manchester United from confirming the deal is the fact he wants to also coach simultaneously. And the powers that be at the club aren't
Mike
that
Phelan
keen.
just running around the club doing a bit of everything.
So Michael Carrick would move up as assistant manager, step in. Maybe Carrick is the long-term solution. Maybe he's the dark horse in all of this.
Perhaps.
I don't think there's a lot of people in world football now who can solve the problems at Manchester United. So I'm not going to beat Ollie with this, loser stick that seems to be prevailing at the moment just because he's going for a bad run of form. Although, starting to call out the players in the press a little bit, shades of, Jose there would suggest there's a few problems on a personal level in the squad that still remain bubbling up to the surface yet again. But that 4-0 defeat to Everton, absolutely apocalyptically bad.
Yeah, Gary Neville said it was one of the worst performances he's ever seen Man United put in.
Yeah, one of the worst since perhaps losing to Olympiacos under David Moyes, where Joel Campbell looked like Lionel Messi.
I think you make a good point though about the lack of viable alternatives though, because except for Pochettino, all the big managers, except for someone like Conte, aren't available. And so maybe they did a bit of sounding around and realised that OGS was the best option for what was available. But it's really about this summer. I think next year they could potentially finish 3rd. I don't think they'll challenge for the league title, but they need 4 players minimum, I think.
Yeah, and I think we are missing the point.
Centre-back, right-back, midfielder, right winger, definitely.
Exactly. A big point that we are missing is the fact he's not had 1 or 2 or even 3 transfer windows, which other top managers like, Sarri and Unai Emery probably needed at their respective clubs in order to fix the problems and sort of chop and change it to their required systems or their preferred systems either. But it is funny how, fickle football fans are being at current. Ollie's at the wheel, now questioning if he's the right man or not. Pundits already want to cut his tenure short. Didn't Jermaine Janus say he was categorically the wrong man?
Yeah, I do agree. It's easier to say that now, but lots of people were saying at the time, rash. They should have waited until the end of the season, seen where they were with Champions League football, and then confirmed. Unless there were no viable alternatives. But they beat an understrength PSG side without Neymar, without Cavani, and everyone was suddenly like, Man United are back. No, they aren't. They did a backs against the wall job, only got through on the basis of a penalty that should never have really been given before the new penalty rule. And now Man United were back. They're not. There's a lot of work to be done. It's not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's fault, but he's certainly not the messiah in my view. They just need to temper everyone down.
He's not the calibre of manager that can come in yet, and I suppose the hard thing for people to foresee is what is he going to do? What is his vision? You know, when Pep was underperforming in his first season at Manchester City, or people were questioning his stewardship of the club, they were like, well, he's not executed his vision. His vision's very clear.
Hasn't got the
I suppose
players.
Ole doesn't have that. He's kind of not making it up as he goes along, but it is papering over the cracks continuously.
Definitely.
Isn't it? So, OGS.
Also, become your own man. Don't be Fergie's little follow through on the way. Just become your own man and stop talking about the boss. You're the boss now. Make the decisions, make the signings you need to do, and Man United could be back next year.
Elite mentality.
Hello, it's nice to see a face. I've been trapped in this room for bloody ages. Use your imagination, I obviously haven't. But we now have this little bit in this show where you come down on the second floor and we bring our own hot takes. And my hot take, okay, is away goals are bullshit. I know this might be, I'm a Man City fan, so I'm pretty sure most people now are just like, because you lost to Tottenham, you wouldn't if you did. If we beat them on away goals, I would still be of the opinion that away goals are incredibly stupid. And here are some facts. I've written them down. I've got bullet points, and I'm just, I push for time, so I'm just gonna, let's get this. Here's some history for you. The away goals rule was introduced in the 60s because they just kept playing the same fixture before one team finally won. And apparently back then, incredibly expensive to keep just flying everywhere, okay? Not that stupid, so away goals made sense. When they're trying to think up of ways to, finish a two-legged tie with a draw, they used to do a coin toss. Away goals are better than a coin toss, okay? I accept that. A lot of people also have they're like, oh, away goals encourage attacking play. I'm like, do they? Do they actually? Teams are now happy to play for a 0-0 draw at home. That literally happens all the time. If you get a 0-0 draw at home in the Champions League, you're like, it's all right, just need to win the other one. We were having this sort of debate in the office. I haven't been to the office for a while. I'm still trapped in this bloody room. But a lot of people were like, yeah, but you should get technically a goal advantage for scoring away because it's harder because teams have an advantage at home. Do they? Because a lot of teams are awful at home and really good away. So it's just contrasting forms. Some teams are better away, some teams are better at home. Say for instance Arsenal, they should, have away goals count because they're so bad away. But if like Crystal Palace were in the Champions League, awful at home, great away, their home goals should count like an away goal does. Ultimately, it's dumb. You can't be like, oh, who won? Well, it was 4-4, so they won. What? I agree with Robert Hoof. Robert Hoof is on my side and he won a Premier League. And Arsene Wenger, he's, a bit delirious. But this was before he went nuts. It shouldn't matter if you score in another stadium. That's football. It happens all the time. You play two teams all the time across the season. If you love them so much, do it in the league. Do it in the early rounds of the FA Cup. Why not? What's your argument against that? If someone came up to you now, if away goals were never a thing, and someone came up to you and went, you know what? I think if the opposing team scores a goal in the other team's stadium, away from home, that should count for more in the case of a draw. You'd be like, you're mental. You are a mental man. Go away. What's wrong with penalties? We do penalties and everything else. Bin off extra time. You've played 180 minutes over 2 legs. You have penalties. Someone wins or someone loses, and then one of the teams go home. Actually, both of them go home because where else would they go? They technically have to go home. But one gets to continue in the competition. That's my thought on away goals, and I'm not salty. I had to come and do this bit, and I just thought about away goals, and they're just really stupid, aren't they? So, please get me out of this room. The door doesn't work. It's literally just a picture.
Oh, who knew? Had a squatter. So let's move on. Next hot take comes from Discord. Oh, new hot takes, new platforms. God, we're really stepping it up, aren't we, guys?
Ramping it up.
This comes from Pylanal /Alex. If Ajax win Champions League, it will be on the same level or even better than Leicester, Porto, or Greece title campaigns. Oh, well, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of admiration for this current Ajax side. I think Ajax have had an academy graduate in their starting 11 for at least 1,500 games.
Stat. Love it.
Which is absolutely unreal and definitely tugs at my purist heartstrings. Love to see that consistent talent factory and that ethos and the way of playing football come to fruition. And I mean, Frankie de Jong, gorgeous footballer. De Ligt, don't go to PSG. That'd be a waste.
Please don't, yeah.
But back to the question in hand, would it be better than Leicester's? No, Leicester over the course of a season, 38 games. I think that statistically, would be harder. Porto's Champions League campaign, a lot of similarities actually. A golden generation of talent. So who do we have at Porto? You had Carvalho, Ferreira, Deco, Maniche. Greece, yes, less games. I think you can probably get the rub of the green more at international level. I think when they won the Euros, it wasn't
dull as well.
Yeah, it wasn't by virtue of playing great football.
Yeah,
was it?
they edged it.
I think they scored less goals per game than something like Lithuania or Slovenia or one of those Enias.
One of the Enias.
Or EAs. Yeah, those Eastern boys. And Zacharakis, what a guy he was. Yeah, he was the captain at the time, right?
Wasn't it the guy with the guy with the rickets in his legs?
I think he played for Leicester for like
Karagianis.
6 months.
The really wide legs.
Karagianis is the one that played for Inter Milan as well, I believe.
Did he?
And Salpin Dingis.
Wow.
Could just be making these up at this point, can't we?
Yeah, we're just going Greek.
So, smash a bit of hummus right now.
Bit of feta on the side as well.
Meze. I'm hungry now, but let's answer the question. So, in my eyes, not better than Leicester, maybe akin with Porto's, given the current talent levels in both squads, and better than Greece's.
Yeah, I totally agree. Way better than Greece's. I think probably better than Porto's, because they had an exceptional up-and-coming manager of the time in Jose Mourinho. But Ten Hag has done an awesome job, but I think he's got more talent available than Ranieri did at the same time. Ranieri did have N'Golo Kante and Jamie Vardy, but otherwise, he won it with Huth and Morgan at the back. Fuchs at left back, Danny Simpson at right back, or Brighton on the right wing. These were not Premier League winning, quality players, and their squad depth was pretty shallow as well. So to win that over 38 games is much better than doing it over 13 for Ajax's perspective, but at the same time, you can't knock what Ajax have done. Ziyech, Tadic, Van der Beek, De Ligt, Frankie de Jong, they've made themselves household names in Europe now. Beating Real Madrid 4-1 away, beating Juventus, they'll play Spurs, they'll probably go in as favourites in that game maybe, and then Barcelona or Liverpool in the final. They could go all the way, but to get to a final wouldn't be as big an achievement as Leicester. If they won it, potentially, but I'd still go Leicester just for the odds of doing that over a 38 game season in the Premier League, the most competitive league in the world. I'm still going Leicester.
I mean, either way, if it was to come true, it's just another great story to add to the pantheon.
Another fairy tale.
Great story. Bloody love a fairy tale. What's your favourite fairy tale?
Cinderella.
Right, so each week we're going to pick the best non-football hot take to finish the show off on. So make sure you're tweeting a wide variety of hot takes to whoever puts said tweet out. This one comes from Tyler. I was looking for it, I found it. Curry sauce is the only option for chips. Anything else is wrong. Now I appreciate his staunch stance on this. He's gone balls in.
I think Tyler's wrong in this. My favourite topping on chips is gravy. 100%.
Very northern of you.
You're surprisingly northern actually. Got a little bit in there in the end. When I used to go to the Stadium of Light regularly when I was at uni up there, always used to have chips and gravy. It was great. I think it was about £3 for chips and gravy, just nice, all over, really soak it in. There's nothing quite like it. Curry sauce, actually you have to own up, never had curry sauce on chips, but I don't think it would be very nice.
Mate, well, I know what we're doing tonight. Curry sauce on chips from the fish and chip shop, yes. Because the curry sauce has a nice thick texture, strong aromas. Or the curry sauce from McDonald's, actually, surprisingly good, but a little bit sweeter.
Really?
But again, absolutely magnificent. I will put
bold for
tomato ketchup on anything. So the most outlandish thing I put it on is probably lasagna.
Really?
Yeah, or maybe even a bit of shepherd's pie.
Well, I think lasagna and shepherd's pie, that's fair enough.
It's got potato.
I was expecting weirder than that.
Does it get any weirder than that?
Vinegar on cucumber.
Vinegar on cucumber. Wow. That is a mix of textures in there.
You're vile.
That is
mate.
disgusting.
But you know what? I'll go with curry sauce. And what I will finish this on is someone's girlfriend, mentioning no names, went on holiday with them recently, said that, what's the sour one?
Sour
Sweet
cream
and
and
sour.
chives.
Sweet and sour was their preferred sauce with chicken nuggets. Now, if you agree with that, that is a hot take, then never, ever come back to this channel again.
Yeah, I'm not for that either. So that was the brand new edition of Hot Takes. What did you make of the setting? What did you make of the hot takes? What did you make of our responses? Let us know in the comments below. Christopher, what should the good people on Football Daily do?
Oh, there's so much to do. Stat Wars the league, Stat Wars the champions, the latest non-league vlog, Kieran's comment show. Have to mention that because he's behind the camera. And if we don't mention it,